Please rise, Mr. John DeFrancis.
Please bow your heads. We come before you today with hearts full of gratitude for the students and parents of our community. Thank you for the young minds eager to learn, grow, and make a difference in the world. Thank you for your curiosity, their energy, and their potential. As we lead and serve, help us make decisions that honor you and uplift the students and families we are here to support. May our schools be places of learning, growth, and unity. In your holy name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Item number 3 is our pledge. Mr. Lewis Ranford.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Lambert. All right, moving on to number 4, our mission statement. Ms. Robin Delaney.
The mission of the Ascension Parish school system is to provide each student the high-quality education necessary to succeed in an ever-changing world.
Thank you, Ms. Delaney. Number 5 is report of committee meetings. Do we have any report outs for committees?
Mr. President, I have a couple of report out.
All right,
Let's go to the insurance committee first. We met last week at 5 o'clock. We had a couple items that we discussed. One was review and consider property insurance policy renewals and terrorism coverage. We had Mr. Brad Hughes of Hughes Insurance there. We had a motion, of course, to put it on the agenda for today and a second. So that's on there. The other was review and consider boiler and machinery policy renewals and terrorism coverage options. And that's for April 2025. And again, that was Hughes Insurance. And we voted to put it on our consent agenda for today. And the next one I had was the policy committee. One of the updates we did was policy JCEA, that's defined the instructional day, include wearable technology such as smartwatches and smart glasses that allow students' use of technology to be at the discretion of the sponsor, teacher, or coach, while the students are at any school sponsored event. That was one of the items that we discussed, and the other one is about 18 items that we voted on. Most of it is just changes that dealt with compliance with the state, anything from consequences for violating uniform policy, all the way down to expulsion after pre-suspension. So it was a lot, but we just made sure that it's in compliance with the state. And that was it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pompey. Do we have any other report outs? All right, Ms. Gill, before we move on to item number 6, do we have any comment cards? All right, thank you. Item number 6 is approval of minutes of February 18th, 2025 and March 11th, 2025. I need a motion. Got a motion by Mr. Duke. Second by Mr. Kleinpeter. Do we have any further discussion or any opposition? All right, that motion carries. Moving on to our meeting items. Number 1 is administrative introductions, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Edith Walker.
Thank you, Mr. Mercer J. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
All right, so I have the privilege of introducing Mr. Gerald Coward. He is the new assistant principal of Sandoval High School. Come on. And a master's in educational leadership from Northwestern State University. He began his career in Terrebonne Parish, where he taught Algebra 1 and study fields, and he coached track and field and boys basketball. In 2013, he joined Sandoval High School, where he taught special education for 8 years, and then he served as the lead special education teacher for 2 years, all while coaching boys basketball for 10 years. In 2023, he joined the Law Special Services as a special education coordinator. His wife, Jane Howard, teaches 3rd grade at Lake Elementary, and he has 2 children, JC and Gavin. JC is a 7th grader at Lake, and Gavin is a 4th grader at Lake. I introduce to you again, Gerald Howard III.
First off,
Yours was loud.
First off, thank you for giving me the opportunity to learn from some of the district's best leaders at Santa High School. It's an honor to return to a place that made me fall in love with Ascension Parish 13 years ago. I'm excited to serve a community that's very special to me, and I look forward to helping bring out the very best in every Gator. Thank you, Dr. Walker, Ms. Carter, and our admin team for trusting that I am the right person for their team. Lastly, thank you to my wife and 2 kids for motivating and pushing me to continue to be the best person that I can be. And as always, once a Gator, always a Gator.
Now it's gonna be really loud. All right, moving on. It's my honor for this next item, number 2, recognition of late elementary cheerleaders for UCA National Championship for junior high non-tumbling game day. And we have Dr. Matthew Monso.
So I had the privilege of being able to recognize this fantastic group from Lake Elementary. The 2024-2025 Lake Cheerleaders competed at the UCA High School National Championship on February 7th through 9th in Orlando, Florida. To compete at this national championship, such as UCA, the cheerleaders had to earn a bid by competing at local regional competitions. It's not an opportunity that's just given to anybody. It is an opportunity that is given to any team that earns their way through top placements, hard work, and dedication. And that all begins early in the season. These 27 cheerleaders worked from early March of last year through February to prepare for the opportunity to compete on the national stage. At UCA Nationals, the Lake Cheerleaders put their best routine on the mat at finals and became the UCA Junior High Non-Tumbling Game Day National Champions. Congratulations. Congratulations, coaches Alicia Gonda, Delaney Anabman, and JC Jacob, and congratulations to this remarkable team. Once again, let's give a hand for this. Take a picture with our superintendent, Dr. Walker.
All right, moving on to item number 3 is recognition of Santa High School Gatorettes National Championship overall jazz champions, Ms. Beth Complex.
Let them all be seated first. All right, the Santa High Gatorettes, under the direction of Ms. Tessa Mayon, traveled to Orlando, Florida for the American All-Star National Dance Championship. They took home 5th in the nation in Division I Pom, 2nd in Division I Hip Hop, and a Jazz Choreography Award. But last and certainly not least, they were named Jazz National Champions. So please join me in congratulating the Santa Monica High School Gatorettes.
And we'll keep going with these awesome Gators. Number 4 is recognition of Santa Monica Girls Wrestling Team, Michaela Brighton, Girls State Wrestling Champion. What is it?
All right, the Santa Monica Wrestling Program, under the direction of head coach Clint Brownell, happy birthday, and assistant Tara Brownell and Hunter Hawkins, have produced the very first LHSAA Girls State Wrestling Champion. Michaela wrestled for Santa Monica High School and is also a student at Early College Options. Michaela had a dominant junior year with an undefeated record of 30-0.
Oh.
Michaela was named to the first team All-Metro for the Greater Baton Rouge area girls. The only time anybody will ever tell you their weight when they're a girl, 100-pound weight class. And she was also selected as the Outstanding Wrestler of the Year for the Greater Baton Rouge area. And Michaela says wrestling is not just a sport, but a family. Everyone grows, bleeds, and cries together for the betterment of each other. This state title isn't just an award, but a significant part of women's history is Louisiana in Louisiana, and a pathway towards growing women's wrestling in the state as a whole. So once again, join me in congratulating our
my teacher voice, right? So I want to stop for a moment to make you think about what is happening here. It is not just about academics in Ascension Parish. It is all the things that our students do each and every day that help us continue to be a successful school system. I'm very proud of the Santa Monica feeder system. We're looking for some of those other feeders in the next couple of months. But I'm very proud of the Santa Monica feeder system. And tonight is about the students. So I'm giving them permission to pick the restaurant. Your parents will pay. Not they will be billed. But I want y'all to have a great night. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to exit so you can take pictures in the hallway with your children. Have a wonderful night and thank you for everything.
All right, boy, we're gonna continue going. We got lots left to go. So number 6, review and consider a resolution to declare property surplus technology. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped 5. Thank you, Ms. Bewley. We're gonna go to number 5, sorry, Amber. Review and consider the Head Start 2025 grant application. And tonight we have Ms. Hope Gotro and Dr. Wine.
Of course. Can y'all hear me or do y'all need the mic?
Mike, Mike, she got it. Mike, for the recording. Not on.
Now it's on? Is it on?
Yeah, so.
Okay, all right. Thank y'all for having me tonight, and thanks Dr. Wine for coming and supporting our Head Start program. This year we are submitting a baseline grant as our 5-year grant in this year in July. So we are submitting a new grant to the Office of Head Start so that we can continue funding our program for the next 5 years. It feels good to even say that this grant will end in 2030. That doesn't seem like that makes sense, but that's what it will be. So our vision for our Head Start program is that all students and families will acquire the skills necessary to break the cycle of poverty and improve their quality of life so they can fulfill their dreams. And our mission is to provide high-quality adult-child interactions to prepare students to be kindergarten ready. These are the Head Start sites across our district. There are 7 sites with 251 students being Head Start funded. I included in the presentation a lot of information that, if there are no objections, I will skip the slides. I wanted you to have the information, but you were also provided ahead of time, so unless you have any questions, we can skip through some of the slides. In August, the Office of Head Start did submit with a final rule publication date of August 21st, 2024, 42 new standards to the Head Start program performance standards. 14 of the standards didn't apply to us as they applied to other programs, but the ones that did apply to us are included in the slides. We are currently meeting all of these standards already, with the exception of one. There's the one with the blue. Whatever that is.
1302.52.
And that one is talking about, so Head Start says that we can only have 40 families on a caseload for our family workers. We currently have 3 family workers with 242 families. So we're over our caseload requirement. I'm in the process of hiring another family worker, kind of twofold. One is to begin to meet the compliance for Head Start, but also because 2 of our Head Start family workers are going to be retiring within the next year or 2. And so we really need somebody to come in and to get some experience before they leave. We do have until 2027 to meet that deadline of having no more than 40 per caseload. If we have the 4, since we'll have the 4, I think that it's pretty manageable, and we can submit a waiver and explain that we are meeting the needs, even though we are a little above our 40 family caseload, but we can do that in 2027. So other than that, we're meeting all of our standards. The next 2 sections that I have are our community assessment and our self-assessment. These are the two of the big pieces that we use to create our Head Start grant. We assess, every 5 years, we assess the needs of our community. And then every year we do a self-assessment. And the information from those are included. And we use all of those, all of the information from the community assessment and self-assessment to come up with our new grant goals and objectives. And we can go to that slide, unless anybody has any questions about any of that. Okay, our first goal is that students will be kindergarten ready by receiving high quality instruction. And we have 5 objectives. We want to increase the average score from the class instructional support domain of the West Side schools from a 2.7, which is unsatisfactory, to a 4.5 to be proficient. Objective 2, increase scores from the class instruction support domain of the East Side schools from 4.03, which is approaching proficient, to 5.25, highly proficient. You're almost at that proficient range, so we want to jump them up. Objective 3, decrease the turnover rate of the West Side schools from 40% to 15%. Objective 4, increase the rate of certified teachers in the West Side schools from 15% to 100%. And objective 5, increase the number of students identified as benchmark or above benchmark on the beginning of the year kindergarten literacy screener from 22% to 80%. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to provide professional development and class instructional support, conduct walkthroughs and provide feedback focused on instructional support, utilize a research-based coaching model, provide staff wellness support, build capacity in paraprofessionals who are seeking early childhood. We do have a number of paraprofessionals who are currently enrolled in either a college program or the REACH program. So we want to continue to use that pipeline to build our pool of certified teachers that they would eventually move up to a certified teaching position. Implement a literacy program to be used in addition to the curriculum and conduct walkthroughs and provide feedback focused on literacy instruction. Goal number 2, students will demonstrate age-appropriate social-emotional skills that allow them to benefit from high-quality instruction. And the way we'll do that is to increase the number of students who move from Tier 3 for the beginning of the year to Tier 1 or 2 by the end of the year from 77% to 100%. Our activities, professional development and conscious discipline, professional development and social-emotional developmental milestones, conduct walkthroughs and provide feedback focused on behavior, implement Tier 2 and Tier 3 interventions, including strategies, behavior plans, and crisis plans, utilize coaching and modeling in the classroom to support teachers, provide outside referrals, and provide education strategies to parents to address challenging behaviors. Goal number 3, improve the potential long-term health, development, and academic potential of students. The biggest health risk we saw from our community assessment and self-assessment was the rate of obesity in our pre-K children, Head Start children. So we want to decrease that percentage of children who are identified as obese upon intake by 10% at the close of each program year. We will obtain growth assessment data of all students upon intake, identify students who meet the criteria for obesity, discuss the identifying data with families to refer to their primary care physician, provide guidance and educational opportunities through literature and parent classes focused on nutrition and physical activity, compare growth assessment data of the children identified as obese upon intake with the growth assessment data of those children at the end of the program year, and provide feedback and further guidance to families. And goal number 4, parents will be active participants in their child's education and well-being. Objective 1 is to increase parent participation in activities with their children from 46% to 80%. And objective 2, to increase parent participation in classes focused on education, child development, health, nutrition, and safety from 27% to 50%. We'll be able to do that through the hiring of the new additional family worker. We'll have monthly parenting classes, use a research-based parenting curriculum, send home monthly activities with supplies for parents to do with their child, send home weekly newsletters outlining the theme and skills being taught, including activities to do at home, increase the number of parent classes and events with a family worker present at each site, continue to offer virtual opportunities, make personal contact with parents to remind them about classes and events, and continue to utilize Child Plus, Power School, Remind, Class Dojo, and other messaging apps to communicate to parents. Funding for our Head Start program, this is what the Office of Head Start has provided to us for this year, a little over $2 million. And then the next slide shows you the breakdown of the budget, including our in-kind of $511,980. Any questions? I know I skipped some things, but.
All right, board, do we have any questions? This is an action item. All right, got a motion by Ms. Delaney to accept. Got a second by Mr. Bonpeter. Do we have any further discussion? Any opposition? All right, that motion carries. Thank you, ladies.
Thank y'all.
All right, now it's your turn, Amber. Number 6, review and consider a resolution to declare property surplus technology and to approve an online auction for the sale of said property. Ms. Amber Miller.
Hi, good afternoon. This one. I just want to see if we can declare the attached items that are computers, printers, Chromebooks, stuff like that for auction, so that we can do an online auction. Our last few online auctions went really well. We're getting better at the pickup process and stuff like that, so a few little hiccups here and there, but money-wise, last technology was almost $100,000. So it's really good to get that back in general fund and get it where it's.
It was, I'm sorry.
$100,000.
Thank you.
So, we'd like to just declare this, attach the list for y'all to see what we're selling and the resolution to get it.
All right, got a motion by Mr. DeFrancis. We got a second by Ms. Karen Bro. Do we have any other discussions or questions? Any opposition? All right, that motion carries as well. Thank you, Amber. All right, moving on, number 7 is our financial reports, and we have Ms. DeShonda Jackson.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, you can talk about it.
She's saying no.
Taylor got it.
These are the financials for January of 2025. The key indicators, January 2025 actual revenues were $88 million. Budgeted revenues were 88.7, which gave us unfavorable variance of $635,314. Year-to-date actual revenues were $220,291,342. Budgeted revenues were $199,650,331, which giving us a favorable variance of $20,641,011. Actual expenditures for January were $28,753,370. Budgeted expenditures were $25,776,646, which gave us an unfavorable variance of $2.9 million. Year-to-date actual expenditures were $185,859,896. Budgeted expenditures were $164,037,805, which giving us an unfavorable variance of $21,822,091. The actual excess deficit, which is a deficit for this month, was $59,319,649. The budgeted deficit was $62,931,682, which is giving us unfavorable of $3,612,038. Actual deficit was $34,431,447. Budgeted excess was $35,612,526, which actually gave us unfavorable $1.1 million. Any questions so far? Okay, our major revenues for January, MFP, we budgeted $10.5 million, we actually got $10.4, which gave us unfavorable $122,954. Sales tax budget was $7,541,667. We received $9,953,923, which gave us a favorable variance of $2.4 million. Avalon was budgeted at $70.5 million. We received $66.9 million, which gave us an unfavorable of $3.5 million. So the total was unfavorable by $1.1 million. Other local revenues were $635,000 under the budgeted amount due to Avalon. We had some positive earning on investments, was over budgeted by $460,000. This month's major expenditure variances are special education was over the budgeted amount of $83,000 due to salaries and benefits. That's the Paris. Other instructional was over $133,000 due to $111,000 in salaries and benefits and $22,000 for band supplies for Dallasville High, Lake EA, and Purville High School. Special programs for over $230,000. This is the payment for the daycare providers. For this expense, we're in at the end of the year because we're no longer going to be getting the revenue or the have this pay these. It's going back to the state, so we don't have to worry about that next year. Support services, pupil support was over $400,000 due to EIS med claim. And this is the billing company that we pay that bills Medicaid for reimbursements that we actually provide, such as speech therapy, nursing, occupational therapy, special ed transportation. So we just pay the company for, they bill Medicaid for us. General administration was over budget by $3.1 million, and this is due to the pension payment. So we get our Avalon tax, we actually have to pay, but the pension have to sit on our books as an expense. So we take that off on top for like retirement or other, like the sheriffs and those sorts of things. We have to actually put that on our books as an expenditure. And it only happens in January when we get the large Avalon payment. Operation and maintenance plant services were over budget by $875,000, and it was due to 91 for retirement benefits, 15,000 in retirement. Also, retiree benefits, 15,000 in retirement benefits, 741,000 over in custodial services, built-in rental lease, repair and maintenance in various schools. The balance sheet at a glance, cash and investments comparing January 2024 to January 2025, the balance increased by $2.4 million. The total fund balance comparing January 2024 to January 2025, the balance decreased by $2.4 million. The special revenue funds were also uploaded for your review. If you have any questions about them, please feel free to email or call me. We're projecting in the year with an $8.9 million surplus as of January of 2025. And of course, the findings, the business services, it was for the federal programs, child nutrition, budget revenues exceeded actual revenues, and other sources were more than 5%. So the business service will take necessary steps to comply with all requirements of the local government budget act. It is, of course, mentioned that. So that's the financials for January. Any questions?
Any questions, board? All right, thank you, Mr. Shaw.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, board, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Y'all hang with me for a bit. Number one, approval of sealed bid SB 10964, computer device cases parish-wide. Number two, approval to extend the 1 year only West Side supplemental pay for the 25-26 school year. Number three, approval of property insurance policy renewals for April 2025. Number four, approval of baller and machinery policy renewals and rejection of terrorism coverage for April 2025. Number five, approval of electronic telecommunication devices policy file JCDAE. Number six, approval of the 25-26 student rights and responsibilities handbook. Number seven, approval of monthly Head Start services report, February 2025. Number eight, approval of the monthly personnel report for February 2025. Number nine, approval of out-of-state field trip for Dutchtown High School indoor percussion ensemble to attend WGI Dayton Nationals, Dayton, Ohio, April 9th through 13th, 2025. Number 10, approval of out-of-state field trip for Santa Monica High School Fishing Club to attend the 2025 Bass National Qualifier at Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma, April 6th through 12th, 2025. Number 11, approval of out-of-state field trip for Donaldsonville High 11th and 12th grade students to tour the Legacy Museum, Montgomery, Alabama, April 22nd through 24th, 2025. Number 12, approval of out-of-state field trip for East Ascension High School wrestling team to attend the NHSCA Nationals, Virginia Beach in Virginia, March 27th through 31, 2025. Number 13, approval of out-of-state field trip for East Ascension High School volleyball team to attend the SMU volleyball team camp, Dallas, Texas, July 21st through 26th, 2025. Number 14, approval of out-of-state field trip for Santa Monica High School DECA students to attend the DECA's International Career Development Conference, Orlando, Florida, April 25 through 30, 2025. Number 15, approval of out-of-state field trip for Santa Monica High School JAG students to attend the National Career Development Conference, Indianapolis, Indiana, April 22nd through 27th, 2025. Do we need to remove anything from the consent?
Motion to accept.
We got a motion by Ms. Robin Penn Delaney, second by Mr. DeFrancis. Mr. Duplichan is abstaining, Jill. Any further discussion? Any objection? All right, thank you. That motion carries. Moving on to our committee information. Number one, scheduling of committee meetings. Do we need to schedule any meetings? All right, we'll move on to E, superintendent board comments. Number one is superintendent comments.
I only have two comments. I just want to remind you of the 2025 Ascension Chamber Industry Appreciation. That's on March 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the cabin. So I just want to make sure if you're interested, you need to confirm our attendance by March 21st. And then the last thing is, it's going to sound funny, but graduations are approaching, right? It is, we're coming to the end of March. Remember, we're going to have 2 weeks of graduation. Week 1 will be Thursday, May 8th, will be Prairieville High School. Friday, May 9th will be Sandoval High School. And then the next week, Thursday, May 15th will be East Ascension High School. And Friday, May 16th will be Dutchtown High and Donaldsonville High. Because we had 5 and could not do them all in 1 week, we split them up into 2 weeks. I just want to make sure you keep that on your calendar. We're going to ask Gio and Jackie to make sure it's there so that we're all in attendance. Just a reminder, it's getting close.
All right, thank you, Dr. Walker. All right, moving on. Number 2, board comments. Do we have any board comments? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Robin Delaney.
Thank you. I'd just like to say thank you to the superintendent and the board members for the calls and texts during my recent surgery. It's truly appreciated, and I love you all very much.
We're glad to have you back.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yes,
I'd
sir,
like
Ms.
to
Bobby.
wish Ms. Delaney a happy birthday today.
Yeah, happy birthday.
71 years old or 72. Thank you all.
Good, good. All right, moving on to item number F, executive session. Number 1, executive session, discussion regarding the litigation entitled Amanda Adams, Jerry Austin, Paige Boudreaux, Amanda Bullman, Tarina Jeremy, Sonny Daigle, Chelsea Diaquano, Sharon Edwards, Ashley Fernandez, Sherry Franz, Amber Haynes, Tia Hillman, Stacy Keller, Mary Lasser, Ashley Liotto, Kelly McCarthy, Danielle Penix, Lindsay Pilato, Rebecca Reeves, Kim Smith, Jennifer Torres, Bridget Troxclair, Stephanie Wilson, and Sarah Warhol versus Ascension Parish School Board, docket number C-140126, 23rd Judicial District Court, Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana. And tonight here for an executive session, we have Attorney Mark Barrier, and we'll need a roll call vote to go in executive session. We need a motion and a second. Got a motion by Mr. Duplichan, a second by Mr. Kleinpeter.
Ms. Delaney?
Yes.
Mr. Duplichan?
Yes.
Ms. Floyd?
Yes.
Mr. DeFrancis?
Yes.
Mr. Kleinpeter?
Yes.
Mr. Burson
Yes.
Mr. Lewis Lambert?
Yes.
Ms. Brooks?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Joe. We're staying in here, is that correct?
Yes. The rest of them.
Okay, we'll stay in here for 30 minutes for the executive session.